a monograph on Sindh through centuries by Muhammad Ali Sheikh. So, in this book, the Indus Valley Civilization, Buddhist rule, advent of Islam, development of folklore, Baloch migration, local dynasties, on eve of the British contest, British rule and part of Pakistan discussed. Sindh is located between two great ancient civilizations, the South Asian and the Middle Eastern. There has been a degree of isolation due to the physical barriers on three sides of Sindh, a vast desert in the east, an ocean in the south, and mountain ranges in the west. Only in the north it is connected with the plains of Punjab through a bottleneck of the Indus. Here are some photographs. Most of ancient civilization have been found either in the valleys or in the vicinity of rivers. The reason behind this universal phenomena have been that the access to the river water provided the ancient man an opportunity to grow food and other commodities of his use in abundance in the fertile land. The river Indus rises north of Himalayas and after traversing a distance of about 2000 miles finally falls in the salty waters of Arabian Sea. On its way from the mountain to the sea, it is joined by four of the rivers, the Satluj, the Ravi, the Chenab and the Jhelum in the plains of the Punjab. Since prehistoric times, Sindh has been the cradle of one of the world's oldest and most highly developed civilization, the Indus Valley Civilization. It has been the contemporary of the Egypt of pharaohs. Archaeological evidences suggest that men lived in the region presently known as Sindh during the Stone Age at least 500,000 years ago. Most of Sindh submerged into sea through a gradual process that started about 100,000 years ago and lasted till about 50,000 years ago. It remained part of the sea for some millennia and then reappeared on the face of the world again gradually when sea receded to its present position near Karachi. The ruins of this civilization were discovered by Sir John Marshall and R.D. Banerjee during the excavation carried out by British Indian Department of Archaeology in 1920. The civilization was centered around the great city of Mohenjo-daro on the bank of River Indus in the present Darkana district of Sindh. Apart from the archaeological discoveries relating to ancient Indus Valley civilization, the second important source on the earlier patterns of society and culture in Sindh has been the Vedic literature. The earliest mention of Sindh in any form of literature is found in the Rig Veda, where river Indus, named as Sindhu, has been termed as a mighty river. After Alexander's death, Sindh came under Chandragupta Maurya, who had brought a vast part of India under his rule and for the first time gave some semblance of unity to the subcontinent. This way, Sindh became part of an Indian dynasty that centered in northern India but stretched from Kabul in the north to the Bay of Bengal in the east. Here is the old map of Sindh. It was during the reign of Raja Dahir that the Arabs under Muhammad bin Qasim invaded Sindh and introduced Islam in 711. Invasion of Sindh had earned the displeasure of Hajjaj bin Yusuf, Arab viceroy in Iraq, by giving shelters to his rebels. Secondly, Hajjaj was pursuing actively an imperialistic policy and had extended the limits of his domain to Afghanistan in Central Asia. With this policy in hand, the conflict with the Kingdom of Sindh was but a natural process and inevitable. Whatever the cause of invasion, Muhammad bin Qasim had a relatively easy victory over his rivals' armies. The reasons were obvious. The first and foremost was perhaps disunity among the adherents of two major religions, the majority Buddhist and ruling Hindu minority. Secondly, the majority Buddhists believe in the doctrine of non-violence and were against bloodshed. During the next 3 centuries, three major religions, Islam, Hinduism and Buddhism, coexisted peacefully on the soil of Sindh. Sindhi society faced a wave of migration from adjoining lands of Balochistan in the 30th century AD, which highly impacted its nature and composition. The Mongol invaders in Balochistan attempted to throw out settled people and take over their possession and house. They burned juniper forest in Ziyarat Valley, where no juniper trees more than 700 years old is found. The Mongol pressure forced Baloch to migrate to Sindh. In the earlier half of the 14th century, famous Moroccan traveler Ibn Battuta commenced his 30-year travel around the world and reached Sindh in 1333. His narration and observations are considered an important source on the society and culture of Sindh. He has mentioned about existence of postal service system based on both horses and men. He mentions that the climate at Savon was so hot that people used to moisten sheets of cloth in water and wrap around their upper torso to cool themselves. By the end of 13th century, Buddhism was totally wiped out. The period around 1500 saw the growth in the military muscle of the European power Portuguese in Sindh to such an extent that they burned Therta, the capital city of Sindh. The royal armies of Mughal Emperor Akbar conquered Sindh in 1591. Around 1843, for Britishers, the country was not only strange and mysterious, but a source of profit and wealth. These accounts are a great source of history and culture of India because as travelers, they recorded their observation for such things which were usually ignored by the local historians. Here are some more photographs of Sindh. Thank you.